Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Will Wesley the Mile High Mouth, and for today's episode of Suki Nihon, we are looking at episode 14, of season 1 of Gravity Falls, Bottomless Pit. This is the very definition of a, quote, filler episode, in that this one is 3 little short stories. There's actually I think there's another episode in season 2 that's similar to this, where it's all 3 non-really connected episodes. Actually they are connected. Not connected, but also connected kind of short stories. Similar to, actually, it reminds me a bit of, in Adventure Time, there are episodes they refer to as Graybles. And in these Grayble episodes, there's little tales, little short stories, and they're all connected by a singular theme. Well, the basic idea with this is that Mabel, Dipper, Seuss, and Grunkle Stan are throwing stuff into the bottomless pit. And then they accidentally fall in. So they're falling, and they're bored. So they start telling each other stories. The first story, let's see. Oh, the first story has Dipper going to McGucket to get a voice-changing serum because he's got this kind of a preteen voice with a little bit of a squeak to it, just a little, and he's a little uncomfortable with that. So he goes to McGucket, and McGucket gives him this potion, so his voice sounds a little less scratchy, and a little less adolescent. And so he takes this, and now his voice is all deep and very in a world type of voice. And of course, people don't like it. After he makes a prank call with his voice, he ends up having to pay for that, and he eventually goes and gets a different thing from McGucket. And the end joke at the end here is that he slips that other thing into Grunkle Stan's cereal instead of drinking it himself, because he's like, you know what? My voice might be a little squeaky, but it's still mine. And he's got to be a little bit more comfortable with himself. And then the second thing in there has to do with, Seuss beats a high score by tilting a pinball machine, and then the haunted pinball machine sucks Seuss, Mabel, and Dipper into the pinball machine. And that's an okay little sequence. Got some action stuff to it because they're inside a giant pinball machine. It's cute. There's a little Bally Midway joke in there. Eventually, he finds a way to turn off the game, and they escape. But the real thing in there has to do with the third story that Mabel tells. Mabel is kind of sick and tired of Grunkle Stan lying to people, so she goes into the woods and finds truth teeth. Because she checks in Dipper's journal, finds out about these, and goes and finds them. She slips them over to Grunkle Stan, who suddenly is very honest with everyone. And she realizes that, wait, if he was honest with everyone, he'd be horribly arrested. So she ends up stealing back the teeth and wrapping them up in a box and tossing them in the bottomless pit, which turns out not to actually be bottomless, because essentially you get down there and you're just falling for about maybe 20 minutes. Then you pop up right in the top of it. And that's the end of the episode. Essentially, it's filler. But it does show that, it shows that there's a lot of little ideas for this show that they could have gone into, and it gives them a little bit of leeway to explore some of those. The episode that's similar to this in the second season, I think, is just slightly better. But I do like the bottomless pit premise. It's pretty funny. Overall, decent episode. I thought it was okay. If you thought it was okay, or if you thought it was amazing, go ahead and hit the comments below. Let me know which of those 3 stories in there you liked the most. And hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until the next video comes out, you are now caught up.